Alright, the update for the garden space. I'm going to go ahead and move these units that aren't getting used. We're going to switch those over here because these tomatoes at this point have gotten big enough they need to be supported. And so I need to find them their permanent home. And so I think I'm going to stick these ones, those ones over here and start tagging them to the wire. And then I'm going to take those and switch them back over here since I can drill a hole and tie a string because we have the same grates on the ceiling, so we can make a little climbing string to attach them to. That'll be nice and taut in between. But then also there's a light that I put on the bottom to try to compensate for down there. So far with the gardening, I've been able to get some lettuces to go, the leaf lettuces, crunch lettuces, butter lettuces, red lettuces, all that kind of stuff, but I have not been able to get the heads to germinate, which is what I was trying to put down there. So instead of just fighting it, I'm going to go ahead and move that light above and try to kick in the rest of the leafy lettuces that we're doing. So I've had the same issue with the lettuce heads. I've tried probably 4 or 5 different types of head lettuce to germinate, and it's like they start and then they just tip over at some point. They make it to an inch maybe at the most, and then they just kind of stop. So I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong with that. I didn't have that issue out in the garden. But then also bell peppers. At this point I've done like 6 different bags and breeds of bell peppers to put in the second hole. I got some jalapenos to finally start coming up. But yeah, no sweet peppers, bell peppers at all. They do not seem to want to germinate for some reason. I said it for each week for the last couple months. I've been trying to germinate the bell peppers and the head lettuce and haven't gotten nowhere with either one. Just those 2 though. Everything else seems to be coming through just fine. And so then again, here's our bok choy. Seems to be kicking butt. And then our leafy lettuces, wok pei and pazizi. So these ones are pretty happy here. I said, so this is that light little T2 2-footer. Like I said, these ones aren't doing anything, so I'm just going to switch that light up here to support these ones because they're kind of yellowing out a little bit. I want to get some more light. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started on that. Alright, so we added on the light onto this second tier instead to try to help give these guys some color down here. They're a little bit light. I don't like that. And nothing seems to be growing down there anyway. So we're up here. We've got some little guys that we've added on. I'm almost ready to get some salads. I'm thinking next week probably. And then we reorganized these guys here so that we can tie them to the strings and support them that way. And of course we got some jalapenos going in there as well. See how those come. Our potatoes are coming along. The little guys that we added into it are blossoming pretty nice. So here's our nice happy jalapeno. That tomato for some reason is the smallest one, but whatever, you know, we'll see what happens. We're getting down to where it's January now, so next month we're gonna start getting our starts ready for our big garden outside. We have that big 44-foot circle. We're gonna do tomatoes and squash and fancy corns and all that kind of good stuff. So and then next we're gonna mix up another batch of our nutrients for the hydroponics, and we are going to make 2 different types of nutrients. One is gonna be our sugar and yeast with a little bit of molasses. And from what I was watching, you can use that to water it with, but for the most part I saw people using it to spray directly on the plants, and it helps get rid of like fungus and that type of stuff, but it also makes the tomatoes and peppers and that kind of stuff grow really happy. And then we're going to do the banana peel one for putting in with the hydroponics to give those a nutrient. So I've seen people have good success with those, and then with some of these ones that seem kind of stunted, I'm going to see if that maybe doesn't help advance those, or a little bit of experimenting. So there we go. Alright, so we're mixing up another batch of nutrients. And like I said, we're going to do the yeast and sugar and the banana peels. This is some storm water from a thunderstorm this summer that Kira and her ma went out and got. And so we're going to use that in our nutrient mix here. So hopefully that helps it. Let's mix our 5 gallons. This is just warm water. Put the lid on that and then mix it up really good before you put the sugar in there. So when I watched the videos on using the banana peels, they didn't specifically point out, like the people that I was watching were using banana peels that were still yellowish. But everything I've ever read about bananas says that they're at their best when the peels are completely changed like that. So I let it change colors. The ranker the better apparently. So these are going to be our nutrients for the roots, and like I said, the yeast one with the molasses and sugar, that's going to be for spraying on the plants. We'll just let that sit overnight, and we'll start adding that to some of these ones that don't seem to be growing as fast, and see if it can't push them or see how it works. So this is just on there. I don't want to blow it up. I'm not sure how the yeast are going to react. We don't need it to ferment and become alcohol. We just need to let all the stuff stop activating, and then just let these infuse into the water. So we'll use that on some of these ones that seem to be a little bit smaller. This guy, these guys. Let's see what kind of impact it has when we use that. And then the yeast and stuff, from what I was watching, really helps the plants fruit. And so like the tomatoes and peppers, apparently, we'll see, but apparently really love that, and it'll give nice, robust, and nice colorful tomatoes and peppers and all that.